What's up, guitar nerds? It's almost Christmas time 2025, and if you haven't got a Christmas song down yet, this lesson is the easiest Christmas song to get down. This is Joy to the World, and is a video I did a few years ago, but I'm going to show you how to play the melody of the song and how to strum the song so that you can play so that people can play along. So if you haven't got any Christmas songs down yet, this is your last ditch effort before Christmas comes next week. And also you can grab the music for Joy to the World by going to simpleguitar.com/Joy to the World, and you can get it right there. So let's dive into the lesson.
So let's dive into the melody first. Now the melody on this is really simple. It's one note at a time. We're only playing your first 3 strings, and we're going to use your first 3 fingers. The rule for this is you use the same finger as whatever fret you're playing. So if you're playing your first fret, you're going to use your first finger. Whether it's on your first string, your second string, or your third string. Just your first finger on the first fret. Then for your second fret, you're going to use your second finger. Then for your third fret, you're going to use your third finger. Really hard, right? But I have a tab for you of this song. So you can go to simpleguitar.com/Joy to the World and download it. And it's got both. It's got the melody and it's got the chords that we're going through today. So open up a new tab, go download that, use it as we go through this, because the melody is pretty straightforward since we're only playing 3 frets and open strings. And we're only using 3 fingers. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play through it for you. It's pretty straightforward and simple. If you do have questions, let me know down in the comments. But this is how the melody for Joy to the World goes. So that is the melody. If you need to rewind that, you can slow it down, you can play along with it, practice it with me, and repeat any parts that you need to. But like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Just remember to use your third finger on your third fret, second finger on your second fret, and your first finger on your first fret, along with your open strings, and that's gonna be really easy for you. So now let's dive in to doing the chords. The chords for this are pretty straightforward and simple too. We're gonna use 3 chords. All we're gonna need is a G, a C, and a D, and that's it. Now I'm giving you the simplest version of this. There's actually, you can get a little bit more complicated with the chords than what we're doing today, but this is going to be simple so that if it's like last minute and you're trying to pull together Christmas songs to play for people, this will be the easiest way to play. Now the G that I'm using is a G. A lot of times it gets called a G add 5, which technically isn't a type of chord, but we use it to signal a difference between a standard G fingering like this with your third finger on the first string, third fret, your first finger on the 5th fret, second string, and your second finger on the 3rd fret of your 6th string, right? The G add 5 variation on this is where you move your third finger over to the 3rd fret on your second string and put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of your first string. It's still just a G chord. It's not, add 5 is not a type of chord, but it just makes it easy to know which G you're talking about. Is it a standard G or is it this fancy G, right? So we're gonna use the fancy G. The C chord that we're going to use is a C add 9, which is just like our fancy G add 5, where what you're gonna do is just leave your 3rd and 4th finger down on the 3rd fret of your 1st and 2nd strings. And then we're going to use your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of your 5th string and your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string. And then you're just playing 5 strings for that chord. And then we're gonna use just a standard D chord. So first finger, 2nd fret on your 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, and your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. And you can use your 4th string open, and if you hit your 5th string open as well, that sounds nice, but don't hit your 6th string. Use your thumb and mute that 6th string so you don't accidentally hit it, okay? But those are the 3 chords that we're going to use. And most of it is actually just G and D a few times. We're gonna play C for one measure, and that's it for this. So if you've got the sheet with all the chords and what we're gonna play on it from simpleguitar.com/joy to the world.
Are you tired of feeling stuck with your guitar playing? You don't have to feel that way. Get a personalized plan, learn guitar 10 times faster, and finally start feeling confident and proud about what you hear when you play guitar. Go apply for coaching with me directly at simpleguitar.com/apply. Now let's get back to the lesson.
Now let's go over our strum pattern. The strum pattern that we need is just our most common strum pattern in the world, which is this, which is down, down, up, up, down, up, or we count it as 1, 2, and 4, and, okay? Either way, whatever it is, however you keep track of that, but that's the strum pattern that we're going to use. You don't have to use that one. You can use something that feels better to you. Sometimes I find myself just playing eighth notes, going 1 and 2, and accenting beat 2 and beat 4, and that makes life easier for me. Now let's dive into actually playing it with the chords. When we start out, we're going to start with our G chord, and we're going to use our 1 measure strum pattern and play it for 2 measures. So that means we're going to go like this. And then in this third measure, we're actually going to split the measure into 2. So we're going to play G for the first 2 beats, and then we're going to play D for the second 2 beats. So to make that easy, if you can't do that with a strum pattern, what we're going to do is just revert back to downstrokes. So you're just going to play G down for 2 beats, and then change to D, which when you're changing to this D from that fancy G add 5, your third finger stays put. Don't move your third fingers. Just lift up your pinky and move your first and second finger, and that's it. That's why I like this G. And you're gonna strum that D twice. And then from there, we're gonna go back to our G chord and play the strum pattern for 1 measure. And then we're gonna go to our C add 9 and play that for 1 measure. And then we're gonna go to our D and play that for a measure. And now we're gonna go back to our G chord, but we're gonna play it for 8 measures. Now the melody just carries on over this G chord the whole time. So all you have to do is switch back to your G chord and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're gonna change to D for 2 measures. And then we're gonna go back to G for 2 measures. So that'll go D for 2 measures, G, and then at the very end, we're gonna do the same thing we did in the third measure. We're gonna split the measure, and we're gonna play G for 2 beats, but we're only gonna strum it on beat 1. And then we're gonna play D for 2 beats, but only strum it on beat 3. So we're playing half notes. So we're gonna strum G on beat 1 and go 1, 2, change to D, 1, 2, and then on the very last measure, you're just gonna strum your G chord. Now, if you want to repeat it and sing the other verses of the song, that's totally cool. If you're doing that, I wouldn't play the half notes and on the G. I would just keep your strumming going. I would just do it like you did before. Now, here's the beauty of this too. When you're playing it with these simple chords, you can put a capo on your guitar to make it easier for people to sing along. So I'm just gonna give you an example of this, and to make it easier, I'm gonna use a capo. So I'm just gonna put my capo here on the 3rd fret, and you get your capo as close as you can to the fret. That makes it easier to stay in tune. And then the chords stay the same. It's still G, C, and D, just like we did. But now we're in a new key because our capo just changed it. But with that, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Joy to the world. Is great. The earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare. Sings rejoicing, and sings rejoicing, if you want to take it to the next level, what you do is you get someone else who plays guitar and you do both at the same time. One of you play the chords, the other one play the melody on top of it. And that sounds really cool.
So there you have it, guys. That is Joy to the World. All the different ways that you can play it with the melody, with the strumming. Have fun with it. Don't forget to pick up the music at simpleguitar.com/joy to the world, and have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching today, and I will see you in the next lesson.